guys, what's up? Last night I got to go see DC's Justice League. I've been seeing like a lot of reviews, and I know how people have been, especially with the last movie, Batman vs Superman. There was a lot of people that were criticizing it, that it was not that great. So if you have not seen this movie yet, you probably want to stop watching this video right now, because I might say some things that are going to be somewhat of a spoiler alert kind of thing. So first off, obviously there's a lot of scenes that are going very quick in this movie. They were given, I believe, around 2 hours to make this movie, or to cut it down into 2 hours. So that being said, once you watch this movie, or if you've seen it, you would have noticed that there were a lot of scenes that were like a few seconds, and then it jumps to another part of that same scene, and then so forth. And you notice that there was no story build up as far as each character and how Bruce Wayne Batman went to go find these people, Wonder Woman also. And it didn't really give much of their story, but more of, hey, we already know where they are, who they are, let's go get them real fast, and that's pretty much it. So I have a few questions as far as this movie and how DC and the directors and writers decided to go about cutting this film, and why there were certain things that were in the trailers that was not in this movie. The reason and why they decided to bring back Superman the way that they did. Alright, so we've seen in the trailers different clips. The first one being that you see Clark and Lois in the cornfield at his home, and they're talking, and he raises the question to her as far as the ring. She has the ring on, and he says, does that mean yes? The second would be when we see in one of the trailers Alfred is working on a car or some kind of Batmobile or something. So Alfred's working on this car, and he's approached by someone, and all we see is the shoulder of that person. So we automatically think there's a little bit of red or there's brown. So is it Superman showing up, or is it Al Jordan and he's showing up, and it's like his red brownish jacket that he wears in the comics. Also, there's another scene in the trailers where we see Bruce Wayne is looking at this hologram, and it appears to be Supergirl. So we see these three things in the trailers, but yet it was never in the movie. So my question to DC, why was it in the trailers but not ever in the movie? What was the reason and why? So my main thought is, why did they bring Superman back the way that they did? Why not just allow him to, over time, his body gets back all the energy from the sun, obviously, going through the earth, going through the coffin, and then eventually, he gets his power back, or, something to that fact. Why didn't we see that? Instead, we've seen where they decided to dig him up, take his body, and put it down into this liquid type water that was in the ship, and then use the Flash to obviously create and generate enough power to power the box to bring Superman back to life. That being said, Batman took a risk, and it's very weird that he would even come to that fact to dig up someone's body and try to bring him back from the dead. And just to think, what if that didn't work, then he would have done all that in vain. it would have looked really bad. So, that being said, why did they bring Superman back the way that they did? Obviously, he was hurt from the fight that he had with Batman prior to fighting Doomsday. And I believe a lot of that had to do with him, dying when he fought Doomsday. But I really think that they should have just allowed him to just be buried. And as far as the end of Batman vs. Superman, you can see on the coffin the dirt was kind of starting to rise. Why didn't they just lead with that as far as him receiving his energy back from the sun like he normally does, because that gives him power? Why doesn't the power from the sun somehow go through the earth and through the coffin, and it gives him enough power for him to come back to life, that sort of thing? So that was just my thought on that. Why didn't they do that? If you've seen the end of the movie, after the credits, obviously we see the guard approaching Lex Luthor's prison, his cell, and obviously it's not him, it's some old guy laughing, his head is bald. And then we eventually see him on a yacht, and of course, guess who shows up? Deathstroke. We've seen pictures of him and the Robin, which I'll put a link in the description below. He's on the yacht, he's with Lex Luthor. Obviously he broke him out of jail, or out of prison, and Lex mentions, why not start our own league, our Injustice League? So I think that's something that we're going to see. Obviously they've had bad guys in Suicide Squad that were eventually turned or used to be good guys to do good. Now we might see a movie where it's just nothing but the bad guys doing bad stuff. So that is potential for a movie to happen where we will see nothing but bad guys, and more likely it could be called Injustice or something like that. So we'll see where that goes. So if you have seen this movie and you also have the same thoughts, or you want to share your likes and dislikes about the movie, and even your thoughts about the scenes that you noticed that were cut, and maybe stuff that I did not mention, please comment in the comment section below. Also, when I went to see this movie last night, I was given some special edition comic books. So I have 3 of them. That's the back, and this is the front. If you comment in the comments below, I will choose someone at random and I'll send them a copy. I'm actually planning to keep 1 or 2 of them. I haven't decided yet. More likely I'll just keep 1 and save it. But if you comment below, I'll choose someone at random. You send me your address and I'll send it to you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you comment in the comment section below. And like I said, I'll choose a person at random for the comic book and I'll mail it to you.